WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, today at the Whisky Fair 2019 in Limburg, together with
Katy Kennedy from Elixir Distillers.
Ah, I see other whiskeys here. So what are the two main brands?
So our two main brands are Port Askaig and Elements of Islay.
All right, so let's talk about, first of all, this wonderful, bottle. 45-year-old Islay single malt Scotch whiskey. How did this happen? What's the story behind the brand?
Well, Port Askaig actually began in 2009, so it was one of the later things that we started bottling.
Right.
As Elixir Distillers, we began bottling in around 2000, 2002.
So the elements were first?
The Elements came first in 2006.
I did not know that, I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. Yeah, the Elements came first in 2006, and before that, another range called the Single Malts of Scotland.
Ah, okay.
But our main passion, our main focus is really Islay whiskey. So yeah, we began with the Elements of Islay in 2006, and then Port Askaig in 2009.
All right, good. Now let's talk about the elements first then there. You have these nice little chemical descriptions here. P5, and you have here, what was another one?
That's the only single malt we have left, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Very, very popular they've been over the weekend. So.
Yeah. Especially in Germany here, they love single malt and they love peated whiskies, I know.
Especially as sherry casks that we've sold out of there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the logic, what's the system behind the Elements of Islay?
So essentially we were inspired by the medicinal aromas of Islay whiskey, the elemental style of Islay whiskey, and we wanted to create a range of single malts which were incredibly good quality, consistently good quality, but with no age statements on the bottles. So we never put an age statement on anything, just to move away from the idea that quality and age are connected, and we originally started sending out samples to people in the whiskey industry, and we would have them sign the bottles off as a seal of approval.
Okay.
So they're now all signed by Oliver Chilton, who is the whiskey maker. He never really gives himself a proper job title. We're going to go with whiskey maker today.
Yeah, okay.
And he decides what goes on in all the bottles.
So it's not barrel proof, it's not cask proof, it's full proof.
Full proof, exactly. So actually this is cask strength, as it happens. Sometimes we will reduce slightly. So we are labelling everything full proof, which is usually cask strength, but from time to time slightly diluted.
All right, very, very good. And all 0.5 liter bottles, and we can always be...
Exactly, so to fit in with all of our elemental style, as you noticed, we created this periodic table of Islay distilleries. This number is a batch number, so the PL means Port Charlotte, so this symbol always means a distillery or a make from a distillery, and the number is a batch number, so this is our fifth batch of Port Charlotte.
And if I have my blended whiskey here, what do the colors mean?
So in our blended malt, we have a red one, which is the Elements of Islay peat, 45%, and the green version is bottled at batch strength 59.3%.
Right, very good. There's always a logic behind the colors and the symbols and the labels, but I don't know yet. Now moving on now to another area here, the bottling that came later. Why second type of bottling then?
So Port Askaig then we created as a range of whiskies, which was to really bring more people into drinking Islay. So obviously the Elements of Islay.
This is the geeky.
They're a little bit geeky. They're cask strength, tiny batches. You kind of need to know what's going on to know what's in the bottles. With Port Askaig, we really wanted to. In fact, this is why it's called Port Askaig. So Port Askaig is one of the main ports for arriving onto the island, and we wanted this range of whiskies to do the same thing essentially and bring people into the category. So we created a range of single malts with no distillery disclosed on the bottles, but we're always creating a style which is fruity, medium peating level, gentle cask influence, generally very well balanced and really accessible for a new Islay whiskey drinker, as well as being delicious if you do like your Islay whiskies.
And also from the price, usually a good affordable whiskey at the beginning. Now this special bottle here, if you'd hold it, not me, tell me a little bit about this. This is something special.
This certainly is. It is. I know you felt like you got a little bit stung by that when you touched it. This is actually an incredibly reasonable price for this bottle.
After I saw the 45, I was like, okay, the price is not that, but still, wow.
Actually very reasonable. So this, an incredibly special whiskey. I feel like, I don't know if on camera I'm supposed to really say where it comes from, but it's from a distillery in the north of Islay, which makes unpeated whiskey. It used to make heavily peated whiskey up until about 1963, I believe. This was distilled in 1968. So this is an unpeated version, which was aged in 5 sherry casks. And it's bottled at cask strength at 40.8%, so got there just in time.
Exactly,
but it's an incredibly tropical fruit bomb, essentially. It's absolutely stunning, really beautiful.
Very good. You'll put it back on its pedestal there. Very good. Anything in the future that we can expect?
With the Elements of Islay, essentially with the Elements of Islay, the peat that we've noticed, this is consistently available, but we also continue to bottle the single malts every year. We do 8 batches a year, so 4 are just on their way.
Okay,
so we have the CL12 on the way.
Which stands for?
Which stands for Kalila.
Okay.
So it's a nice young sherried Kalila. Then we have the PL6, so another Port Charlotte on the way.
Sorry,
Not Port Ellen, I'm afraid.
Port Ellen would be great, wouldn't it? No, Port Charlotte.
We have the LP10, which I did have a little sneaky sample of here.
That's maybe a Lefroy.
It is indeed a Lefroy, 1998 distilled and being bottled shortly. And then I always miss one. I think in threes.
Me too, don't worry. If you don't really remember, that's just fine. So watch this space, maybe we'll figure out by then. Very, very good. So this is good.
And additionally, on the Port Askaig range as well, we have just released a couple of new things as well. So we've got the 10th anniversary bottling, which was released about 3 weeks ago. So obviously we started bottling in 2009. That was bottled to celebrate our 10th anniversary this year. And the 28-year-old as well, which is, we don't actually know where that comes from.
Oh.
We have our suspicions, but we selected it for the quality. The liquid essentially is incredibly fruity. It fits very nicely into the range. So.
Now, Germans love this. This is very, very good. I'm sure people in other countries as well. Do you also still, or have you already made it to the markets of America, Australia, other places?
We have indeed, yeah. We're in about 21 export markets at the moment. We are in the States with Port Askaig, but it's just quite recent. The Elements of Islay are not yet available in the States. And Australia, everything is available, good. In Asia as well. Everything is available, as well as the single malts of Scotland and across Europe.
WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American, together with
Katy Kennedy.
Bye bye.